Hello everyone, it's David with Spa Doctors. Just wanted to do a couple little self-help videos for our customers that we sold tubs to that might be having an issue with the diverter valve handles being a little sticky. That's going to be this device right here. I'm going to show you how to fix that problem real quick. You can do it yourself. Stuff like that's not covered under warranty, so that's why I wanted to make a couple of videos for things like this. We'll get started. Okay, all you're going to need is a rag, some Vaseline, which this is lube, same thing. So if you have some Vaseline laying around, that's great. And then you might need this. This is an oil filter wrench. You can buy this at an auto parts store, pretty much anywhere, Harbor Freight. You might need it, you might not. So to get started, this is actually an update to the video I just posted yesterday on Facebook because I left this important step out. First thing you need to do, if you have water in the hot tub, before you fix this problem, it's very important that you turn the breaker off to the hot tub, which is going to be your breaker here. Just press the test button or flip the power off. If you don't turn the power off and the pump kicks on when you take that valve loose, you're going to get a volcano of water in the face. So turn the breaker off before you do this if there's water in the spa. So the reason these diverter valves get a little sticky, it's not just on Cal Spas, but lots of hot tubs out there use these. If yours has a handle on it, same thing. So water gets sucked in through those intakes down in the bottom there. It gets pushed up through this valve here, and sometimes you have debris, small particles, things off your feet that get sucked in through the intake, and then it gets pushed up through around the outside of the valve that's inside of here, and that can cause the valve to be a little sticky. So that's the reason why that happens. And we'll get started step by step here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to get this handle off the top right here. This is the handle that you would turn. So we're going to pull this up. Sometimes you have to work it side by side like that until you work it up off of the actual valve. This is going to be the valve and the valve cap that we're going to disassemble. So once we've located the valve cap under here, you're just going to grab this whole valve cap and you're going to turn it to the left and unscrew it off. Where the oil filter wrench comes in handy if you need it, sometimes that is really tight to get off, and what you need to do is just put a rag around the outside like this, grab the oil filter wrench like this, drop it down on top, squeeze just a little bit and turn just till you get it started. That should be all. Then you can unscrew it the rest of the way with your hand. That is going to be like this. Just unscrew it, take the cap off like this, and now you're going to be looking at the underside of the cap and the valve. Really important, do not lose the O-rings that are inside of the valve cap. There's two small little ones in here, and then there's one large one that goes on top of the valve body. Do not lose these O-rings. The next thing you're going to do is just pull the valve up and out of the spa like this. So you're going to access the valve like that. Then you just need to wipe all the dirt, debris off of it. Any gritty little particles, just wipe them off really good. I always put a little Vaseline around the outside of this, just kind of smear it around. Don't have to be thick, just right here where these plastic pieces are rubbing on the inside of the valve body. That just kind of helps lube it up and keeps it turning nice and free. Next thing you want to do is put plenty of lube around these little O-rings right here. Sometimes when those dry out, when you're turning the valve stem sticking up through it. It also causes it to kind of catch a little bit. It'll feel like a catch, but putting some lube on that will also help lube things up. But the main thing is going to be getting the debris and stuff off of the valve here, rinsing it off, put a little lube around the outside, and then also make sure there's no debris inside the valve here body. Make sure there's no grit or anything. If there is, just kind of, you know, wipe it out. Again, make sure you don't lose that O-ring. Once you've done that, you pretty much put this all back together. Just drop the valve back down in there. It does not matter which way it goes. So you just drop it down in there anyway. It doesn't matter. And then again, make sure you don't lose these little O-rings right here. You're going to make sure this is seated properly on top of the valve body. You're going to push this back down on top of the valve body, the cap here, and you're just going to twist it until you tighten it up. All right, once you get that tight, then you just take your cap, this device here. There's little teeth on the underside. This is the top. This slides back down over top of the square valve stem sticking up. And that will free all that valve up for you nice and easy. And that's how you unstick one of these diverter valves. So if you have any questions or you have trouble getting the valve out of the valve body, let me know or message me or call here. There's a little trick to getting that valve out if it's stuck down in there. Don't want to make a video of that. Typically it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. If it does, let me know and I'll tell you how to do it. Thanks again.